This is Jesus Garcia, Rod Lane, Nightmare on Elm Street. You're listening to Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast. Up your nose with a twirling lawnmower, and I mean it. It's Rod Lane, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Death? Death? You're gonna kill me. You're gonna fucking kill me. Why? Why? Because I fucked you? You fucked me. You fucked me. You came to my house. You came to me. I got you a car. I brought you your clothes. You took a fucking bubble bath. You wanted it. You wanted it. You came out to me. What was I supposed to do? You sucked my cock. You both fucking sucked my cock. It was free pizza. Free fucking pizza.
In a world where zombies, ghosts, serial killers, and vampires all exist, it's Nico, Brian, Mike, and Dustin, and they are all that stand between you and the films that could end the world. Welcome to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Don't Go Out There Horror Movie Review Podcast. Just want to thank all our fans and listeners. We really appreciate all the support. Before we jump into tonight's film review, I just want to give a quick shout out to our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search Don't Go Out There and you'll find us, and you'll see Brian's awesome artwork he's done for us. Or check out our website, don'tgoouthere.com. You can listen to all of our interviews, our episodes, celebrity shout outs, and check out our online store and our blog if you want to, just catch up on what we've been doing. And to continue this month's theme, Never Seen It month, we're going with Brother Brian's pick, 2015's Knock Knock. Brian, do you want to give your general overview first?
Yeah, so I picked this movie because I fucking love Keanu Reeves, not quote unquote love fucking Keanu Reeves, which apparently I said last week apparently. So just wanted to correct that.
Hey,
on
we
there.
don't kink shame on the show, brother. Yeah.
Well, anyway. All right, so anyway, I saw Reeves was in this. I saw Eli Roth directed it, so I wanted to see this. But I'd never seen it. Obviously, it fits right in with this theme month. So did I hate it? No. Am I going to watch it again? Yeah, probably not. I just thought it was meh. Reeves gives a pretty damn good performance, I thought, for what he's given. But I just think there's not a really good script here. I think that if this was done right, though, that it would have been a very interesting plot. I'm aware it was a loosely like kind of a loose remake, but I like I said, I don't think it was done right. We'll get into it, but the first hour of the movie wasn't good to me. I mean, that's a subjective term, honestly. I guess it depends on why you started watching this movie in the first place. So this is where you would insert a quote unquote call me sometime as a hint of what I'm talking about here. But if you're looking for a good movie, this just isn't it. It doesn't even really get interesting until about 20 minutes or so left in the movie. Again, depending on what you're looking for. But yeah, this is not what I had in my head the first time after the first time I saw the trailer, a few years back. But so I was a little bit disappointed, I will say, in this.
All right, I'll go next real quick. Yeah, this is complete opposite from our first week of Never Seen It month, Train to Busan. No offense, Brother Brian. Was not a big fan of this movie at all. I thought the beginning of the movie was kind of interesting. But once these girls started acting like who they were, this movie just annoyed the hell out of me, to be honest. A few bright spots towards the end with some comedy, but I really wasn't a big fan of this movie. Like you said, though, Keanu Reeves I thought was really good. But, yeah, this movie just was kind of painful, to be honest. Dusty, you want to go next?
Yeah, sure. So I know that I talk a lot on this show about how much I love David Arquette, and I've said that I love Ethan Hawke and I love Ed Norton, but let me let you in a little secret, pal. Keanu Reeves.
You love Brad Pitt. All right. Yes.
No, that's not what I said. So Keanu Reeves is my favorite actor in the world. Like, I love Keanu Reeves.
Nice.
That being said.
But do you love fucking Keanu Reeves? Because apparently.
Again,
never mind. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Keanu, call Brian sometime.
Sorry.
There's only one person on this show that we kink shame, and he knows who it is. So the thing is about this is that I'd never seen this movie. It's funny that you picked this movie because one of my real good friends here in Tennessee, he let me borrow this movie. It was either at the end of 2019 or the beginning of this year on DVD, and because it wasn't on Netflix, now it is. But I watched it, and I remember when I watched it then, I was like, I kind of just had it on as background noise. I didn't really pay attention to it that much, but I was like, yeah, this is okay. And then on the rewatch here, I paid a lot more attention to it, and I saw that I didn't really have to. I got the gist of it. You know, it's a. But I will say this. We're closing in on 100 episodes, and this is the scariest shit I've ever seen, because I 100% would welcome 2 girls into my home that look like that, and I 100% will get caught up and murdered by 2 psychotic, beautiful girls. So this shit's terrifying. Fellas, be safe out there.
There's worse ways to go. There's worse
ways to go. So, and thankfully I don't have Facebook, so they could never post it on my Facebook. So we're good.
Oh, okay. Man, I normally quote Dave Chappelle right here, so let me do this one more time. What can I say about this movie that hasn't been said about Afghanistan? Bombed out and depleted. Okay. Here's what I'll say. I don't hate this movie, but it kind of falls into the so bad it's good, except it doesn't have the good. Kind of like Brian said,
It was fucking bad.
Yeah.
That was fucking bad then.
Yeah.
Pretty much sounds like you hate it, Mike.
No, I don't hate it because I was entertained, but it wasn't in like the, wow, this is actually so bad it's good. It was like, I can't shut this off because one, the 2 on the screen, call me sometime, but also because I really wanted to see where they were going to go with it. And like you said, Brian, the last 20 minutes of this movie is interesting, but the end is the biggest, and I do mean biggest boner killer, not in the literal sense because of this movie, the figurative sense, the biggest boner killer ever. The ending is flat, and I don't think we get a great payoff for what could have been. It could have made the movie a little bit more interesting had the ending been better. And we'll get into the details of it, but I just didn't like this fucking plot. Now, one thing I want to point out, I agree with Dustin. This is fucking terrifying because, fellas, we're 4 men here. I mean, this could happen. I'm just saying this could happen. I mean, I don't think I'd let them in my house, just saying, but whatever. Yeah, so I do like that it's kind of a modern retelling. Hell, the name is slipping me. I've never seen that. Hell, maybe I'll pick that. Anyway.
Please don't. Actually, yeah, please pick it.
No, I'm not going to pick it. But I've already picked my movie. So what I will say is I don't hate it, but I definitely didn't like it. That's for damn sure. I probably won't ever watch it again. A couple positives real quick. Keanu Reeves was great, though. He was so, when he's trying to be an emotional character, it's actually funny because I just don't think he does that well, except for Hardball. But I thought he was really, really great here. Just his acting. I actually thought the acting was pretty good all around until I'll wait. But I thought the first hour or so during what I'll call the boring part, I feel like the acting is good. One thing, tip of the cap to Eli Roth, who I don't like every movie he's ever made. But I like the directing work here. I think the cinematography is good. I love the way they use the Steadicam. I think there's some good actual movie making stuff here. I just think this plot fucking sucks. And it's way longer than it needs to be. It's an hour and 40. I'll never get back. But don't hate it. Definitely didn't like it.
Hey, that's fine, Mike. You don't have to welcome them in your home because I will tell you right now, Ana de Armas, you can come in my home.
Oh,
right?
Well.
What you doing?
Nope, I can't backtrack now.
Hold on now. I'm a faithful man. Come on now.
That's
Let me
good.
tell you about the real world.
Ana de Armas. Ana de Armas, I will be faithful to you. Come in my home. Anyway.
I'm Helen, live, coward. Anyway, please, let's go.
All right, y'all got any more quick thoughts before we jump into the scene by scene?
No, let's do it.
All right. The film starts with aerial shot of the Hollywood sign and scenic views, and then into the house with opening credits. Evan and his wife are getting intimate. He refuses to cut his hair short, though. They start having conversation. The kids barge in on them. Happy Father's Day. They give him an alarm clock with pictures of them in the face for Father's Day, and they have cake in bed. And then he chases his kids around the house playfully. And it's his monster impression. Monster is sad he isn't getting laid anymore, and it's been 3 weeks. The wife and kids have breakfast, and the dog is staying home to keep Evan company. Evan has to work and can't join them on their vacation. Evan's wife shows Lewis her statue that's going to the art gallery. They ask Daddy to come to the beach, but he has some design work to do because he's an architect. The family drives off. That night it's raining really hard. Evan is jamming out and on his computer doing some work on it. His wife video calls him just to touch base. Back to work. He turns the music off when he hears a knock at the door. He opens the door and it's 2 beautiful girls. They're lost and can't find the house they're looking for. He lets them in to use his phone. They joke they don't even have any of their friends' numbers, which is, pretty. I'm the same way, honestly. They ask to use his computer to find their friend's address on Facebook. They take their shoes off Asian family style, and he goes to get them towels and an iPad. Bill says he's a lifesaver for letting them in their house, and he says he can take both of them in a worst case scenario if they attack him. She jokingly says that she's an air boxer. They got the wrong address, and they're really far from where they're supposed to be. Evan says he'll call them an Uber. Going to be 45 minutes before the driver shows up. The girls ask if they can use his dryer to dry their clothes, and then Evan offers to put Genesis' phone in the rice to dry it out. Brian, you want to go first, brother, on the first 2 scenes?
Yeah, sure. Look, to say Keanu Reeves carries this thing, especially these scenes, is an understatement to me. And honestly, to be completely honest, I even honestly questioned his casting a little bit until a scene at the end where he just really killed it that we'll get to. But not because he's not a great actor, but I was like, is he really the right person for this part? But I realized it wasn't him I didn't like, honestly, here. And nothing against Ignacia Alamán playing Karen, but I just do not buy them as a couple whatsoever. And it's because of her. Now, Reeves, I think, is great with the kids, and I definitely not only buy that, I think it's actually really good here, especially the lines where he was like, did you pack the gun? Did you pack the cannon? I don't know. I just thought that was really cute. It was a nice little part. But Ignacia is a weak link here. I'm sorry. Weirdly, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I kept honestly wishing she was for Cameron Diaz for some reason. Don't ask me why, but it's just like, I think it's because you don't have a lot of time to make their relationship believable. And someone like Diaz, for instance, like you instantly get that without even even seeing much interaction between them. I mean, it was a decent character development, but I was glad when the family pulled away just because Karen, or as I like to call her, Discount Ali Larter, yeah, I said that, she was just like really cringe, to be honest. Ali Larter, friend of the show, by the way. When Belle and Genesis, fun fact, Genesis, Lorenza Izzo is actually Eli Roth's, wife in real life. But when they first get there, I'm not sure if it's on purpose, but that whole interaction felt just really off. And I don't know if it was like the lack of soundtrack, maybe, because from when he goes to answer the door to almost the entire end of the scene, there's just no soundtrack besides the dialogue. It's just nothing. Their acting is supposed to carry this whole thing. And honestly, Reeves, to me, is the only one that really even remotely has the chops to try to pull that off. And so I don't think it worked really well right there. And nothing even this entire time feels creepy or even off. It just feels, normal. I mean, as normal as that situation could seem, I guess. But lastly, and I will say they tried to set up the whole shoulder thing, and I noticed it whenever they did it, and I thought, without even seeing the rest of the movie, okay, his shoulder being hurt, that's going to pay off later. And in my mind, I thought maybe it's a way that they're going to explain that that's why he can't just fight these girls off because his shoulder's hurt like real bad. But it absolutely did not. Like, I don't think they did a good job at all of paying that off. All in all, this group of scenes, it kept my attention, but I think it drug on way too long. And to me, it quickly became almost a yawn fest for me in this little group of scenes.
Yeah, so the opening scenes, I agree with what you said there, Brian, as far as the acting and the dialogue between Keanu, Evan, and his wife and kids, because it's very much so like believable parental small talk. Like you could easily see that being a conversation he's had with his kid. Did you pack the chainsaw and all that? And then the whole monster sad, that whole thing. That's just total dad right there.
Hey, I would like to say that Mike gets a lot of credit for his impressions, but that's a very good Keanu Reeves. I just want to give you credit for that right there.
Thank you. I hope to make him proud if he listens to this. But anyway, yeah, it's just the dialogue there. Now, to your point about Cameron Diaz would have been nice, but for the budget that this movie had, and,
I get it.
And the limited amount that she's actually in. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I'm not really crazy about her either. The rest of the casting though in this movie I really like, especially Ana de Armas. I don't know if I mentioned that previously, but big fan. She's also in another one of my movies that I absolutely love, War Dogs. That was the first introduction I had to her, and big fan. But anyway, I digress. I like the way that everything's set up. I like that he's just at home working, doing his thing, about to light up and doorbell. And, the lack of background music throughout this set of scenes, I actually like, because I think it sets it, to me, it makes you feel like more of this could be me. I'm there. It's raining right now. Like, I don't know. I kind of disagree with what you said there. It did kind of make it more ominous to me. I agree 100% also with what you said about the shoulder setup. Bullshit. Like the way that they just lazily, my shoulder. Oh, don't forget to do your therapy. And then it comes into play later. Like, I don't know. Maybe if he had his arm in a sling or something, like he just had surgery, it would be a better setup than what we got. But, whatever. That's a nitpick. But it's no fault of the great Keanu Reeves, because he acted his ass off. Let me just put it to you like this. If he weren't in this movie, if they cast 95% of other actors that could have had this lead role, this movie would just be an absolute piece of shit. But I love the way that he pulls it off, and the way that he carries these set of scenes, the way that he sets up what we're getting in the future. Because when he lets the girls in, like, you can see it in his face. You can see that he's like, pinch me, I'm dreaming. Like, he's got this look on his face like, I can't believe this is happening to me. And then you could even see the reluctance to, like, he wanted to flirt and play along with them, but he's like, no, like, you could tell there was a hesitation. Like, I'm married. I'm just gonna be a nice guy, and that's it. And that's things that he sold without saying a word. It was just all in his facial expression and his body language. And so I think that was a nice touch there. So overall, you've got me. I'm hooked. Let's see where this goes. You got beautiful girls and Keanu Reeves. I'm all in on this movie so far.
All right, so this set of scenes I actually didn't think were terrible, because they at least get me interested in where it's going. It's the next set of scenes that really pissed me off. But anyway, this set of scenes it's fine. I'm not a big fan of the opening shots of like Hollywood and Los Angeles or wherever they are in California, because I don't think that's like a very scary aesthetic for a horror movie. I know we just had Halloween H2O out there, but anyway, I don't know, something about daylight and all that. But I agree with a lot of what Brian said and Dustin, where I like the interaction with Keanu Reeves and the kids and the wife. Like, I think all of that's good. It's good character development. First of all, man, to quote Michael Jordan, fuck them kids. Get the hell out of here. We is doing business, man. There's stuff going on in this room. Don't bring me no cake. I want her cake, not your chocolate cake. Anyway, that's a different story. I just thought I'd point that out, that I wrote that down. I was like, man, fuck them kids.
Oh, no. If we go back to the one episode, y'all would just be fucking with the kids in the room. You got no shame. Just fuck them in the kitchen. I remember that episode. I forgot. I forgot.
No, that's a Michael Jordan Space Jam reach. Anyway, so you could kind of start to see there's like a little bit of I don't know if sexual tension is the right word, but between him and the wife, they kind of like play that up a little bit, because obviously haven't done it in 3 weeks, and she still makes him wait till Monday, which, by God, woman, give the man a quick handy or something. What's going on here?
Jesus.
I'm just saying, what's going on? 3 weeks? Anyway,
I mean, it's Father's Day. He could have got a hand job at least.
That's what I'm saying. I'm fighting
sorry.
for my life.
I'm sorry. If a hand job's all that's on the table, I'll see you in 3 weeks. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh dear. We're going to be canceled. Canceled 2020. Anyway.
You started it.
You finished it, pal. You finished.
Well, she didn't finish him, so what are we really doing?
Wow.
I know. I wrote down during this set of scenes, I do like the way this movie is shot. I know I said that in the opening, but I did write it down here. This man got cock blocked and pot blocked. So this man goes to smoke his weed and someone knocks on the fucking door. Are you kidding me? This man can't get no nookie and no weed. This is some bullshit, man. This man's just supposed to dry ass architect all day. I don't have time for that shit. But anyway, I did find it kind of weird. I know he's an architect and has stuff to do, but why couldn't he go on this vacation again? Like, I don't know. He can't work from a laptop or something? I don't know. I just felt that was kind of weird. But I agree. I love Keanu Reeves here. I think he plays a lot of this stuff up. And I actually think the act, I know you guys did disagree, but I'm going to go the opposite way. I think in this set of scenes early on, when they're a little more straight and serious, I think the acting from the two girls is pretty good. It's later that I'm annoyed and I want them to get off my screen. But I think in this part, I don't think it's very bad. Like, I think the three are kind of interacting in the right way where I'm suspicious. They're doing just enough to make me wonder, well, what the fuck is really going on here? I like that. And I like the nervousness, that awkward dad is awkward character that Keanu Reeves played here. I thought that was good too. I can tell you right now, if they're not changing clothes in my house, you got to get all the way the fuck out back in the rain. No. Faithful man, we're not doing this. You're not putting your clothes in my dryer. You can use my phone. That's the extent of this. I'm just telling you what I would do. I'm telling you what I would do. Now, if I were a single man, hey, come on in, ladies. What's going on?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just telling you this how
to quote Genesis, they never say no, no matter how much they love their families. Go ahead.
Spoiler. Hello. God, I'm just kidding. That's one more thing I wanted to say, and then I'm done. Your name is Genesis? Man, get the fuck out of here with that name. That name pissed me off. Genesis.
I know two girls in real life named Genesis.
That's a goddamn Phil Collins band. What the fuck? Anyway, I'm done.
Yeah. No disrespect to all the listeners named Genesis.
Right. We love you. Thank you for listening to Don't Go Out There. You can check out all our past episodes at don'tgooutthere.com.
Where we will probably have a new T-shirt that says Genesis says "fuck Mike." So anyway,
I don't know what just happened right now. This is funny.
Studio. Oh, sorry.
He puts the phone in Rice and he makes him some hot tea. He takes their wet clothes to the dryer. He finds them dancing and play with the dog, and then he puts the dog to sleep. The girls love his record collection. Evan tells them he used to be a DJ, and then he tells them that he's 43 and they can't believe it. They tell him they'll keep him company for Father's Day, and they're impressed by his muscles, which is another thing is like, this shoulder thing's, I don't believe it either. I'm totally with you guys. He should have knocked these bitches out way sooner.
Agreed. Get the fuck out.
Jesus Christ.
I have no sympathy, okay?
He should knock these bitches out.
They're trying to kill me. Yes. Genesis tells him her model story, and Belle says that she likes older, more experienced guys. They both think his wife is beautiful, and he says he's lucky to have her. Evan and Belle exchange some Spanish dialogue when they find out his wife is from Barcelona. They say they must have sex all day, and they're a perfect couple. Evan says he's not used to girls being so open about sex. They laugh and touch him, but he moves to another seat. He says the Uber is 20 minutes away now. Been with the same woman for 14 years. Then Genesis says it's against nature to be with only one person. Evan asks what the girls do, and they say they're both flight attendants. He moves seats again as they touch him again. And then Evan, he says that he's really jealous of all their traveling. And then I wrote more sex talk. It's getting really awkward for Evan. Genesis asks to use the bathroom. Belle asks Evan to play a Chilean woman's record. Belle starts vibing to the music. Evan gets another record out and starts to DJ for old time's sake. Belle confesses she's having more fun at his house than they would at the party. She says it's destiny they met and they start to dance. She goes to kiss him, but he pulls away when the Uber driver arrives. He gets their clothes out the dryer, and I wrote, my man's is stressed out. He knocks on the bathroom door and says the Uber is ready. He walks in the bathroom and they're naked. They want Evan to have fun. He says he can't do it because he's married. He tries to resist, but the temptation gets the best of him. The Uber calls him and leaves while he fucks the two girls. All right, Brian, go ahead. That's what happened. You can't say that's not what happened.
No, trust no, that is what happened. You're right. All right. So anyway, all right. First off, I did have to say I appreciate the joke about his age because Reeves is like 49 when he filmed this, and he definitely in pop culture, this dude's a vampire because he never ages. He's looked whatever age he was when he filmed Bill and Ted his entire life. So I did appreciate that little joke. And if that's not what it meant, that's the way I took it. But the dialogue with Belle and Genesis talking about fucking an Abercrombie model or being gay for crunches in the mirror during sex, that dialogue is terrible. It's horribly written. Just being honest, I thought, oh, that was awful. And I would like to point out that when Belle makes a statement about threesomes and Reeves is just like, wow, that's literally exactly what I was saying as I was listening to it and how I would probably react to that statement as well. Also that, what the fuck he lets out while he's in the laundry room by himself. Yeah, that cracked my ass up too. All right, so these scenes, I mean, for obvious reasons, I would have loved when I was 15. But like when I was trying to watch this group of scenes and actually listen to some of the dialogue, this whole build up to the group sex scenes, I thought was pretty boring. Now, I will say some positives. It was a perfect soundtrack with that whole Chilean music playing and Belle dancing. I was like, at this point, finally, like, shit, this is good. It's about to happen. And that should have happened like 10 minutes ago. But then it just gets totally killed. And when the music gets turned down and then we have more damn dialogue. And I mean, just have that music pumping and Belle take her clothes off. And it would have felt a lot more natural, honestly, than what we got. Like, especially the whole Happy Father's Day while they were giving him the blowjob. Like, that was just, I was like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. It was cringy to me. It was cringe writing. But all right, a bit more positive, and it's going to sound funny, but I'm trying to be serious about it. The way the sex scenes were shot, I thought it was great cinematography, for real. Like, look, this is going to sound absolutely like I'm a huge perv, but this is the best part of this whole entire movie. because it looks... Hey, it looks like they took the time to shoot it, that they actually cared about this scene.
I agree, Brian.
And only this scene. But because let's be honest, if you watch the trailer for this movie, this is what they knew would sell the movie. Keanu Reeves, hot girls having sex. That's what sold Dustin right at the very beginning. If you remember, like 20 minutes ago. That's what they were counting on it selling everybody in this movie. Honestly, that's probably what sold me, and I wanted to watch it for the first time. But they felt like, I'm being serious, like they really seemed like they took their time to get the cinematography and the shots right on this one. So anyway.
No, I agree. And yeah, I'm not going to complain with getting that view of Ana de Armas. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm a huge fan of her work. I want to go back to something Nico said in his scene by scene. I want to clarify just something that you said. When you said he put the dog to sleep, when you're talking about animals, that has a very different meaning. He literally put the dog to bed. So he didn't kill the dog. This is not, which actually it's funny that you phrase it like that, because I do have this theory that this movie is just an alternate universe in the John Wick saga. So this is if, his wife hadn't died, this is what would have happened inevitably anyway. So anyway, the dialogue during the sex talk, I think that
wait a second. There is no way John Wick lets two girls overpower him like that.
No, I'm saying this is this is an alternate universe. He's not a hitman anymore, and he's truly given up the game, and his shoulder's really fucked up. He can't do anything. So anyway, the dialogue in the sex scene, or the sex talk scene, I got to kind of disagree with you again there. Maybe I'm viewing this through rose-colored Keanu Reeves glasses, but I don't seem to dislike this movie as much as you guys. And this scene in particular, I know girls that talk exactly like this, and they annoy the shit out of me, but I tolerate it because they look nice. So, this is very believable dialogue to me. It might be shitty movie dialogue by movie standards, but as far as believability, yeah, there's girls out there that sound exactly like this, and that's the extent of the and there's guys like this too. I don't mean to seem shallow, but I'm talking about my personal experience. There are girls out there who the extent of the interesting things they have to offer would be the conversation that these girls are talking about. Their wild sexcapades and dudes doing crunches while they're having sex. So, hey, maybe that's brilliant writing. Anyway,
Maybe it is. Maybe I'm just old and I've been out of the game for a while. Maybe that's what it is.
yeah, I'm still outside, so yeah,
It's not brilliant writing.
it is brilliant writing. You're just a hater. So, him DJing was kind of weird to me. There was no payoff for that. If you wanted to just, set up the scene where they fuck his record collection up, you could have done that without having him actually DJ. I have a record player in my home. It's just a regular Victrola record player. It's not a, ones and twos. I'm DJing a house, a club. Like, this is some real shit, some real heavy duty equipment that he's got here. There's no need for it. It doesn't come into play at all. They just fuck up his records later in the movie. And seeing him with the headphones on, spin, transition the songs, like, okay. What is that supposed to impress me? It doesn't. And then, I do like how he's getting pissed off and irritated when the girls are just lollygagging, because they're a bunch of lollygaggers. When the Uber's outside, like, get your shit and go. But my man, you went in the bathroom. You was looking for that sex. Don't try to tell me you weren't, because they're in there naked. You've got their clothes in your hand, and you're just gonna, girls, I'm coming in. I'm not gonna look. The first thing he does is look. So Keanu, you did kind of bring this on your own, Evan. But and then here's the thing. Okay, so while I agree with what you said about the cinematography of the sex scenes and how artistic it was, artistically inclined it was shot, however you want to phrase that, it did look like it was from the producers of 50 Shades of Grey. Like, the camera angles, the lighting, the transition to the scenes, everything was great. However, and yes, it was necessary if that's how you're going to try to sell tickets to this movie and get people to watch it, because you got two beautiful girls, and I guess women fantasize about Keanu Reeves. I don't look at him that way. But so, yeah, I guess it was a big selling point. However, it's ultimately unnecessary. You could have cut this whole shit out and just made it to where when they seduce him initially and they go down to, orally satisfy my man, they could have just cut it right there and then fast forwarded to where he wakes up and they're gone. They're out of the room. All that did was add to the runtime. I get it. Yeah. We're a bunch of horn dogs and we like to see that shit, I guess. But ultimately, from a moviegoer experience, it didn't add anything. We know that they had sex, so you didn't have to spend so much time exploiting your wife like that, Eli Roth. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to say this is the set of scenes that just fucking dragged for me. Like, it really is just a lot. Now, I will say I agree with Brian. I already kind of said it while he was talking. I think that sex scene is shot really well. Like, I really, for what it is, they took the time to actually care about how it looked instead of just being kind of smut on my screen. I'm not saying I have a problem with sex. Who gives a shit? But the way they shot it, it wasn't like typical horror movie sex. It was very artistically done. I got to give them some credit for that. I kind of agree with both of you. I see both sides here where I thought the dialogue was ass, but I know people who talk that way. So
that's my point. Thank you.
I get it. It is realistic. Now, does it make for a good movie? No, it was awful. And that's why I said this set of scenes drag, because it's literally all talking. There's nothing else happening until the sex. Nothing. And it's like, fuck, can we have something go on? And the music stuff, I'm pretty sure everyone kind of agrees. Who gives a fuck about this man being a DJ or a former DJ?
Exactly.
Like, I don't give a flying fuck. It didn't come in later. Like, if it were like a real fucking horror movie, they'd have put his head on the record thing and spun it around. That's how, Voorhees would have killed somebody. This is like, it was pointless. It was just like a plot point to get Belle to move her hips, I guess. I don't know. Again, I'm not going to complain about the sex scene because it's pretty obvious. But I will say, I will say this. You can only enjoy it for about 4 minutes because right after this, they make you feel fucking gross. Just saying, as a moviegoer. Just being honest, they make you feel really
minutes is about all they'd have got out of me.
Well, God damn it. What
That's including cleanup time, ladies.
what I'm
Oh my
What-
god.
what I meant was the quote unquote reveal bullshit. The quote unquote reveal that comes here in a couple minutes makes you feel fucking gross about that sex scene, and then by the end you don't feel as gross. So it's kind of a head twist. I guess that was their point. But hey, man, I'm just saying, fuck these women, man. This is some motivationalist ass shit. Man, they're setting up my man Keanu. Sick of it. I didn't really like this set of scenes. I'll just be honest. I want to say this set of scenes dragged the movie out for me. It was so much just talking, and I like character development, but none of this really was good development. So I could have gone without it.
I can't stop laughing. I'm sorry. The most impressive part about the cinematography and all that to me was my man ain't got laid in 3 weeks and lasted that long. That was incredible. The next morning, Evan wakes up to an empty bed. He has several text messages from his wife. He puts his wedding ring back on. He finds the bathroom wrecked. He hears the girls laughing, and they're wrecking his kitchen now. They made breakfast and are watching Family Feud. And I wrote, the girls are kind of gross acting now. He says he will drive them home. They want to travel with Evan. He goes outside to answer his wife's video call. The girls run to the glass door and flash him and act like frat boys doing sexual acts. He's pissed now. He walks in and commands them to get dressed, and he sounds serious now. He tells Belle she's leaving, but she loves him and is hugging him. He tells them they're leaving in 3 minutes. Now they draw all over his wife's most prized statue. He threatens to call the police, but Genesis says they're underage, and he'll go to prison if he does. He offers to pay them, but they say they're not whores or hookers. Vivian shows up to the house, just some random woman. Vivian shows up to the house and talks about his wife's art. Then Genesis shows up and touches him, and Vivian is pissed and walks off. The girls are playing with his records now, and he tells them to get out. And I wrote, these girls are annoying as hell. He grabs Genesis by the throat and pushes her to the wall. He calls 911, but Genesis hangs up the phone, and they ask for a ride. They have an awkward car ride, and as he drops them off, they still act playful. Evan gets home and cleans up the messy kitchen and bathroom. He then scrubs the graffiti off of his wife's statue. Later that night, back to work and jamming out. He turns the music off when he hears a noise. He yells hello to see if anyone's in his house. He finds a family picture broken on the ground. When he bends down to grab it, he's hit in the head by Genesis. All right, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, what a goddamn nightmare. Like, this is, when he walked into that kitchen of horrors, I was just like, oh my God, what is going on? And yeah, I don't know what I wish they would have gone with here, but like the underage thing, I was like, come on, because like at this point in the movie, you really think that that's what the writers and stuff are trying to shove down your throat, and at this point, you're like, what? They look 30 years old. No way in hell that is even remotely convincing that they're 15. So I'm glad they corrected that later, but why even go with the pedophile angle to begin with? Like, I don't know, maybe they should have gone with the rape angle or something, meaning like the girls claiming they were raped instead of saying they were claimed to be underage. I don't know. I didn't buy that even from the beginning. And Nico had it right. That cameo, Vivian's Colleen Camp, actually played Donna in the original Death Game back in 1977. So that was just a straight up cameo of her character and was a total waste. It just seemed really shoehorned in there as an homage. And okay, I'm all for Easter eggs and stuff, but it wasn't even a good scene. I don't know. I don't know what or where they could have put her in there, but to me, it just seemed way out of place. And it took nearly 48 minutes in the movie at this point, but it's finally, to me, getting going. And holy shit. I mean, this really, like I said, this is Nightmare on whatever street this is, because this is the real nightmare. Like, what do you even fucking do if you're him at that? I mean, I don't know. You can't even put yourself in that position, because I mean, shit, it might be the same thing. One thing I would change though, honestly, I think that I would have rathered like her, I think it was Belle, that hit him in the head, or maybe it was Genesis, I don't know. That hit him in the head. Like, have him hit him in the head right when he was about to call 911, because instead, like, we went through this next 5 minutes where it's like lulls you into thinking that it's okay, he might have got away with it, because honestly, besides trying to build up some suspense with that broken picture, you really just accomplish the same thing like at the end of the scenes, right? I mean, like he still gets hit in the head. So, like I said, that's probably when I would have had it happen and just maybe saved 5 or 7 minutes there.
Yeah, so when I said that this is the scariest movie we've reviewed, I mean it because of these scenes. You know, the scary environment that we're in, and I don't say we're as in men, I say we as in human, is being accused. You know, we've seen it before, people being accused of something that's not true. So when they went with the pedophile angle, to me it was just to drive fear into Evan's character's heart, because I know that I would shit my pants if I had just hooked up with a girl and then she goes, by the way, I'm 15. Now, I don't think that Ana de Armas looks 15, but who's to say, you know, she can't pass for a young girl. And so that is fucking terrifying. And
I know, yeah, but I mean, 15? Like, you think she could pass for 15?
That's what
I don't know.
I
I don't know if I'd have bought it. I would not have bought
all.
it. I don't think I'd have bought
maybe
it.
not 15. So maybe they say, you know, pass off like I'll be 18 next month or something. Pass her off at 17. But still, we're talking a difference of 2 years. You know, there's a guy I went to high school with, looked like he was 35 when he graduated. So who knows? Whatever. Reverse Benjamin Button. I don't know. But the thing is, like I said, this is terrifying. Now, the scene with Vivian, I agree, it went nowhere. I would have loved it had she, you know, because she was speaking about Karen when she was there. So I would have loved it if immediately after she leaves, maybe 5 minutes later, Evan gets a phone call from Karen asking, what the fuck is Vivian talking about? Blah, blah, like, go ahead and just out him. Because the end of the movie to me was confusing. It was a little bit lackluster and disappointing because she came home not knowing anything was up when there's been smoke signals coming from this house all weekend. And, you know, not to mention the whole, I don't want to spoil, you know, the scene by scene, but the Facebook thing that happens later, she's just going to walk in the door like no one's alerted her, hey, your husband just put this on Facebook. And so I think that we could have jump started that and added to the electricity of the dynamic there had Vivian called Karen to let her know. Because that would just further terrify Evan. How am I going to salvage my marriage? How am I going to save my family? Because that's fucking terrifying. I can't stress that enough. But yeah, and also I love the scenes where he's like, okay, I'll drive you, and he drops him off like that. They're just creepy as shit right there. They get out and just walk through the park like everything's great and nothing happened. And then how did these little ninjas get inside the house like that? Like this man, you're telling me at this nice ass house he don't have an alarm system set up? That was a big nitpick of mine. But anyway, not a great set of scenes as far as this is really just groundbreaking cinema here, but a great set of scenes as in this scared the shit out of me when I put myself in Evan's shoes.
Yeah, so a lot of this, again, drags because it's just a lot of talking. And this is where I think the acting gets bad. Like, it's too over the top, too campy, too something. Like, the one girl, Belle, it's like too cutesy. It's like almost overdone. The fact that, haha, I'm 15. I didn't buy it from the beginning almost. Like, I'm not believing that these two are underage. They're just fucking with this guy, which is even more sick. So I guess that kind of works. It just didn't hit for me because I didn't believe that either one of them were that age. So something about this just kind of didn't sit with me. Now, like Dustin said, that would be fucking terrifying if I were in his shoes. Mm-hmm. Holy fuck. So that, again, this is scary. Don't get me wrong. This, you know, a psychosexual thriller, this is probably one of the more scary ones I've seen. I know that Gerald's Game is kind of creepy in its own way, but this is like, man, this is not cool at all if you were in Keanu Reeves' shoes. But I didn't buy it. And so as a moviegoer, I'm not as invested. I'm not on the edge of my seat like, oh, fuck, they're really about to screw this guy over. Like I just didn't. I had a feeling that there was something with that didn't really hold true, and so it didn't work for me. But it might have worked for someone else. But again, I just nothing to really write home about in these scenes, except for the acting of Keanu Reeves. I think this is where he kind of starts to really like play a character, which, props to Keanu Reeves. 9 times out of 10, he's playing Keanu Reeves in a movie. That's just who he is, and I love that. I like Keanu Reeves a lot too, by the way. I'm a big stan over here, but not as big as them. I just feel like this is where he shows a little bit of some character, and it's pretty good. Like, I think he's definitely the highlight of the film, no doubt, because like I said, the other acting gets annoying as fuck. It's over the top, and I'm not a fan of these scenes because I just feel like they take way too long. And like I mentioned at the top of the show, the last 20 to 25 minutes are really where it gets good.
I just want to touch on something Brian said real quick. He mentioned that this is like the 48-minute mark. Excuse me. And dude, we got over 50 minutes of these girls being annoying and just torturing this guy. That's my biggest issue with this movie. Genesis is now applying a ridiculous amount of makeup on, and Evan is tied to the bed. He says he's a good person and this was a mistake. He shakes his phone out of his pocket and like sits on top of it. Belle enters the room with his daughter's underwear and like school uniform on, and she pulls the underwear off. She stands over him and asks if he likes what he sees. He asks to be untied if she really loves him. Belle acts like a crazy daughter and slaps him, and Genesis writes on the mirror, "It was not a dream." His phone rings, and it's his wife on FaceTime. They take his pants off, and he finally says he'll do what they want so they won't answer the call. Genesis puts the phone like on the desk, and like I wrote, she's recording it, but we find out later what she's really doing. And Belle acts like a daughter again. He gets his hand free and knocks her to the ground, and he unties himself. He finds Genesis and chokes her. She stabs him with a fork in the chest and knocks him to the ground. And I don't know if I'm gonna get stabbed in the chest and just immediately fall to the ground like that. That's kind of, I don't know if that's like that, like y'all mentioned about the shoulder. I just don't believe it. Belle says they have to punish him now. Evan is tied to a chair, and Genesis acts as a game show host. "Who wants to be a pedophile?" she asks. Belle walks out, and Genesis announces Evan to the show. They put headphones on him and turn them up deafeningly loud. She now asks a pedophile joke about him picking his kids up from school. She now asks how many family men have survived this game. He answers 0. "That's correct," she says. She then asks what's the proper punishment for a pedophile. A ring at the doorbell, and they shove the sock back in his mouth. It's Lewis. Genesis answers the door and says she's his niece, and they're shooting a music video. Lewis sees the artwork covered in a sheet and dirty, but it's supposed to be bubble wrap. The artwork has the graffiti all over it again. Lewis panics. They tell him someone broke in and did it, but he doesn't believe it. Then Genesis tries to make moves on him, but he's a gay man. He hears Evan making noises and goes to him, but runs back to the girls when he hears him destroying the statue. He panics, but they've stolen his inhaler out of his pocket. He falls to the ground and hits his head while they play like monkey in the middle with his inhaler. Evan begs for them to call an ambulance. The girls giggle and mock him. They accuse his wife now, and they push him on his chair into the wall and say, "This is what happens when you break the rules." And the next 2 scenes I got, Brian, are the ending. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so Dustin's girl Anna de Armas does a great job here, I think, actually. And this is her. This is actually her first English language part for the Cuban actress, and so I think she did a pretty good job, like showing a very unhinged Belle, I guess there. But this is maybe where you guys disagree with me, but where the hell was this before? And I think both of the girls do a decent job here. Like when they start going unhinged, yeah, it's annoying, but like I think it's just the fact that they were perfectly normal with not even a slight sign of this in the first 50 minutes or an hour of the movie, and the night before, it just makes it makes it really weird and off. Like they did not even seem, to me, they didn't even come across as like, something's a little off about these girls. Like it just, nothing came across that way. And so for them to just flip a switch like that, I don't know, maybe it was a little off to me. And look, fuck this, because even Evan charging Genesis and not doing jack shit and getting stabbed in the arm, like I said earlier, that's where I thought they were going to go with the arm thing when they set it up earlier. I thought, okay, it's going to be so bad he can't overpower these girls. But come the fuck on. Look, this scene pissed me off. He's easily dispatching Genesis here. Easily. Even with that half-ass armed, he's fucking Ultimate Warrior flying clotheslining her ass easily there. There is no way. So, I mean, but all right, if we are doing this stupid bullshit, that is a gruesome ass scene, I think, with her just digging in there with that fork. So I thought that was good, especially with his foot, twitching from the pain. The game show, like Lorenzo Izzo, I think does a really good job here. Look, if we had more of this and less of the bullshit, we got in the first hour of the movie, to me, I think it would have been a lot better. And I mean, Lewis, best character in the movie to me. I loved him. I know two ghetto ass hoes when I see them. I was really disappointed how he went out. Really disappointed. Just want to say worst death in the movie. That's funny because it's the only death in the movie. But anyway, again, decent group of scenes. The first group where I did not think it was totally negative. I mean, obviously there was some bullshit I bitched about, but I thought it was. This is a good group of scenes for me.
Yeah. So the thing about these set of scenes is that Ana de Armas did a great job. I don't know if you mentioned that or if I mentioned that I'm a fan of hers.
Wait, who?
Ana de Armas.
Yeah,
she's
she in this?
She's fantastic. Anyway, so the thing about the whole fork scene, it really pissed me off when he was on the ground because he reiterated, "Oh, my shoulder, my scar, my surgery. Get the fuck out of here!" Like, fam, we remember when you were in the bed at the start, you're trying to work out some pain in your shoulder. We remember Vivian showing up because you needed a massage or some therapy on your shoulder. You don't have to say, "Oh, my shoulder," when you're getting stabbed in. Like, that killed me. I hated that shit. But yeah, I agree. The game show scene, that's psychotic and very well done. Although, if I were him, they just had those headphones on his head. I'm pretty sure he could shake his head back and forth enough to sling the headphones off. But anyway, that's a nitpick as well. I agree with you as far as Lewis being the best character in the movie. He reminded me a lot of I'm drawing a blank, but the character in Get Out, like that quirky, funny sidekick. Yeah. But you know what I'm talking about. Like he worked for national security or whatever it was, airport security. I can't remember. But he reminded me of him as far as his quirkiness and his sense of humor. And not to fully contradict Nico, but I don't think that he was gay when he said he was barking up the wrong tree because he followed it up. I think he was just saying, like, that's not going to work on me. I'm from Oakland, ho. I know two ghetto-ass hoes when I see them. So I don't think that it meant he's gay. I just think it meant that he's street smart. He's wise to the bullshit's how I took it. I could be wrong, but either way, it doesn't, not that it mattered. But yeah, he went out sad. My man went out sad. And I want to give a big fuck you middle finger to this movie for the racial slur. I don't know if y'all caught it, but they've got his inhaler, and she says, "We were playing monkey in the middle." Oops, I mean man in the middle. Fuck you for that. We didn't need that.
Damn, I didn't catch that.
Wow.
Shit.
No, I didn't catch that.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that.
I caught it. Completely unnecessary. We already hate these bitches. We don't have to add racism to the checklist. But other than that, I mean, I knew shit was bad, but when they started drawing on her artwork, that's when I know shit's real bad. Like, this is not going to end favorably for anyone, because they can hijack him and kidnap him and tie him up and everything, but you still think he's going to get out of this and he's going to Kevin McAllister. He's going to Kevin McAllister fix the house before the family gets back. But when they deface the art, you're like, no, this ain't happening. He's fucked. So, but yeah, very intense set of scenes. And I agree. If this set of scenes had been longer and the set of scenes prior to this been shorter, I think it would have been cooking with grease. But it did salvage it and get me back in, all on board with the movie.
Right. I tend to agree with you guys. I think this is probably, if it's not the best set of scenes, it's definitely close. I'm not like a huge fan of the weird sex daddy thing they tried to do there. Okay, fine. But it is sick and sadistic, and that's kind of what we're trying to get at here. They've turned the level up to a 10. So I give them credit for that. The shoulder stab scene just annoyed the fuck out of me. Gruesome, so I like that. We finally get some, of that in a horror movie, or thriller horror, whatever the fuck. But I said the same thing, Dustin. I have it wrote down. You don't have to say your shoulder. We know it's your fucking shoulder. It was so funny to me. It was very Keanu Reeves. Oh, my shoulder. Like, fuck. It was very funny. Yeah, I love this game show scene. I think it is intense, very creative, very well written, even. Like, just the idea of it is very unique and different. I like that they went there. I think it's very, very good. Probably my favorite scene in the whole movie, just because it's so different. And like you guys mentioned, how we got a little more of this and a little less, I'm a flight attendant. Like that I think we would have had a much better movie, because this is very, wow. Like, I'm interested in this. I want to see where this is going. The headphones thing, I guess the DJ thing kind of did play in there, but I still could have done without that. But yeah, and I love Lewis. I agree with you guys. There's a part of me that wanted Lewis to kill one of them off just to see what the fuck the rest of this movie would do with only one of them, because at this point I'm annoyed as fuck with Belle, and I like looking at her. Sorry, not objectifying her, just saying. But the character is annoying. But yeah, I really like the second part of this set of scenes. I think it's really, really good. The game show stuff is really well done. Lewis's death, he deserved much better. I agree, Brian.
All right, this is the ending, guys. They begin to cover Lewis's body with paper mache-like material. Evan scoots in his chair towards his record collection. Then the girls send fake texts between Lewis and Evan. Then they put Lewis's body in a van. Back to the game show. $1 million question. Evan answers that he loves his wife, his children, and how can they judge him? Do you really love them, Evan? Genesis says they don't deserve a father like you. She says death is the answer to the question. He asks if they're going to kill him. And this is probably my favorite part of the movie. Evan goes off and says they fucked him and goes on a tirade. Free fucking pizza. He says he was a good guy trying to help you, and now you're going to kill me? Genesis says he's to be executed at dawn, and he looks at the clock and he cries. The two girls go outside and dig a giant hole. He uses his feet to grab the iPad. He uses Siri to FaceTime Karen. Genesis grabs it and throws it outside and calls him a monster. They do his monster impression he used on his kids, and he questions how they knew that. They continue to wreck the house and his wife's artwork. They cut his hair and start to break his records and ruin his furniture. They find his hidden gun. Genesis tells Belle to untie him. She tells him she wants to play hide and seek. If they don't find him by sunrise, they'll leave. 30 seconds to hide. He goes to the kitchen and grabs a knife and a pot. They start to look for him. The house and pictures are ruined, I wrote. He runs outside but trips and drops his knife. He cries for help, but she says no one's home because they tried every house. It's morning now. They have him tied and gagged and roll him into the hole they dug as he cries for help. They stand him up and start to fill the hole in with dirt, only leaving his head exposed. They take the gag out so he can speak. He says he'll do whatever they want. She says, even call your family and tell them everything that happened. He leaves a voicemail and starts to tell what happened, and then yells to call 911, but she hung up already. They gag him again, and she says, knock, knock. Cheating eventually gets you killed. She fake goes to bash his head in. He cries as they mock him. They say it was just a game, and that they're not animals. They thought he'd be the one to say no. They say they're all the same, and they have to go do it again. They show him his phone and what they posted on his Facebook, because they streamed what was going on in the bedroom when he was tied up. They leave the house. Evan gets his hand out and knocks his phone over. The camera goes through the home to see the wreckage. The family gets home and walks into the disaster. And then Daddy had a party, the son says, and the film ends. Go ahead, Brian.
I did like them covering Lewis up with that paper mache. I thought that was the music, the whole thing I thought was really good there. Again, if this was the character of the girls that we got the whole time, I mean, I would be down for it. But it was a little too much flip-flopping for me. And plus, creativity, that was creative as hell. I've never seen anything like, somebody covering a dead body with a paper mache. I thought it was smart. Now, the scene where Evan gives a speech in the chair. Reeves did this a couple times apparently because he wasn't happy with his performance the first time, but I think he fucking killed it here. Like, it seemed genuine. You know, I laughed a little bit, especially when he goes, "You fuck me, free fucking pizza." But I mean, it's like, I don't know, the way he delivered it. I think Reeves killed the performance in this scene. Nitpick central for me. No fucking way those two girls dig a hole that big, that quick, and aren't sweating like crazy. They did it in like 45 minutes, according to that clock. Not happening. Sorry.
Whoa, Brian, that's some very anti-women's speech you're laying on right there.
Shit, it's anti any human being speech. They're not digging a fucking hole that quick. No way.
They can do anything through Christ who strengthens them. Don't you?
Wow. Shit, I don't even know where I was at. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, the montage. Loved the montage. It really did what it was supposed to do. It made you hate the characters a lot more, no matter how hot Anna is. And I will, another nitpick. Fuck that. Evan was way too close to that gun to not be grabbing it. I mean, I think that was either shitty writing or directing, because you don't put him that close to that gun. It's that simple. I mean, and what the fuck is the point of the knife if you're just going to run away with it and not even try to use it? The ending, he liked the post. Like, his arm is out long enough to push like, but can't delete it even after he did it, even after he pushed. I don't know. I think the ending kind of sucks to me. I think the girls should have killed him, you know, and then they then like gone stranger style and just maybe, you know, been shown moving on to the next house and knocking on the door, and that been the end. And I know the alternate ending has the girls like steal Evan's dog, and he uses some sort of tracking collar or whatever to track them down, and it ends with like him knocking on their door, so it like sets up some interesting, you know, revenge plot type sequel. But, you know, I don't know. I guess that depends on what Eli Roth is trying to do in this movie. You know, I don't send the message, don't cheat. I don't know. But I think that neither of those endings, the alternate ending or the one we got, work at all. And I think they should have killed him.
Okay. So, yeah, I agree with a lot of what you said. Now, the thing about the hole that bothered me was, yes, you're right. It's highly questionable that they could build or dig a hole that big, that quick. Because I don't know if you guys have ever dug a hole like that, but I dug a fire pit in my backyard, and that shit is not fun. And and another thing, why the hell did movies do this? They had them out there digging a hole that was like a regulation size burial plot. Why?
Right.
Like that. Yeah. That was a perfectly dug rectangular 6 foot deep hole. It wasn't quite 6 feet because they were standing
in a pool in the backyard, brother.
But yeah, why? Like, especially if your setup is you're just going to stand him up where his head's planted above. You didn't need to do all that. But anyway, whatever. The thing about the arm, he got his arm free and he liked the post. I don't think that. I mean, he liked it on accident when he was knocking it over, right? So I mean, I didn't really have
right.
I didn't really have an issue with that, but
I didn't mean he did it on purpose. I just meant if his arm is out long enough to push a button, he could have easily hit another button right after it. I mean, like, I know he liked it, so he could have easily hit delete. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they were setting up. Like, it's that trick shoulder, man. He couldn't extend it. He couldn't extend it anymore. Like, once he knocked the phone over, it's out of reach. He couldn't do it.
I got your shoulder.
Yeah, it's the shoulder, and this goes back to what I'm saying earlier. This is an alternate universe in the John Wick universe, because this man just has the worst damn luck with dogs. They didn't kill his dog this time. They stole the damn thing. And I thought it was fucking hilarious. The kid's delivery of "Dad had a party." Like, that shit cracked me up. I laughed. But ultimately, an unsatisfying finish to the movie. Although, if you want me to be 100% honest with you, this shit's more terrifying than if they did kill him, because now he has to explain to his wife what the fuck happened. So I would rather be dead. Like, I don't want to have to face that music.
I said that too.
So yeah, all in all, disappointing ending, but is it really, considering how the rest of the movie was? I think it was a fitting ending. It's okay. And yeah, I just want to say one more time, Ana de Armas, Call me.
Hey, pal. It's gimmick infringement. Anyway, what? Okay, first of all, the ending, and then I'm going to go back a little bit. But the ending, to quote the great Ricky Bobby, ain't worth a velvet painting of a whale and a dolphin getting it on. That might have been Cal Naughton. One of those two said it. Anyway, listen, man. This ending stinks to me. And partially because I agree with Brian, I would have just had them kill Keanu Reeves, and that would have been a little more satisfying. The dog one, the alternate ending, is almost a little more satisfying because they're maybe setting up a sequel. Don't know if I need a sequel, but at least my man Keanu gets some damn redemption in this house, man. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, to go back a little bit, I love them covering up Lewis with paper mache. That shit is a really creative way to end a kill. Like, I think that was kind of cool. And since it's the only kill we get in this movie, I thought that's my favorite kill then, because fuck, paper mache is clever as hell. I had a problem with the hole too, because I was like, God damn, have you ever seen Space Jam where they're out on the golf course and they're doing, he's fixing a divot? That's what I thought of while they were digging that. Anyway, sorry. But a lot of this really bugged me because this is like stereotypical dumb horror movie character stuff where he has the knife and he only uses it to run out with it. And it's done by the girls too, to have him untied in the first place. That's stupid. So just a lot of like really dumb decisions all around that I didn't really care for. Him being buried up to his neck is kind of, I don't know. I just didn't buy this whole thing. Like, I think there was just probably a better way to execute this. I don't know what it would have been. I'm not a writer, but it didn't hit with me. However, I think everything leading up to him being buried is at least suspenseful, and I'm curious about what's going on. And then after they bury his head in this, or not his head, they bury his body. I'm like, oh, okay, really? Because I knew they weren't going to kill him at that point. Otherwise, they would have just buried his ass alive. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. I think that I do think I would have liked to see a tighter bow wrapped around this somehow. I just don't know how. I do love the delivery that kid gave when he said Dad had a party. That was awesome. That's really clever. It is very, very terrifying that this man now has to explain to his wife why all the shit in this house is ruined. And one positive I will give is that last Steadicam shot that mirrors the first Steadicam shot inside the house, how opposite all the pictures and artwork is with everything written on it. It's basically the same shot, but with all the bullshit that the two annoying ass characters wrote on it. I thought that was a really nice touch. Thought that was really cool. But yeah, not a very satisfying ending overall.
Y'all got any more final thoughts before we jump into a few fan questions we got from Facebook?
Yeah, fuck you, Eli Roth.
Wowzers.
Oh, okay.
Fuck the bear Jew. I said it.
Whoa. Hey.
Someone is angry right now.
I actually like Eli Roth, but fuck him for this movie.
I would like to just say, Ana de Armas, check your Twitter.
Oh my God.
Get at me.
Yeah. I would never act this way. Anyway.
I'm smitten, fellas. Anyway.
All right. First question we got is from a good friend of the show, Hunter Nelson. He said he's seen this movie before, but it's been a while. But he really wants to know what our general thoughts are on Eli Roth as a director. Does anybody want to go first?
I'll go since I just said fuck Eli Roth. I actually don't feel that way, except for this movie. I like Hostel. I love Cabin Fever. So there's some good, there's some bad in his stuff too. Don't get me wrong, but I like that he's a very big advocate of the horror genre. So I give him props for that. But just as a director, I think he's okay. Like, I don't think he's some great innovative director. I think as a writer, he kind of lacks, but I do think just what he's done for horror, I think there's a lot of positive there. And he's the Bear Jew and Inglourious Basterds, so love that.
Yeah.
I'll go real quick. I like Eli Roth. I think he's really passionate about the genre. I don't know. He just kind of loses me. I think he tries a little too hard sometimes. I like Hostel. I haven't seen like Green Inferno yet, but I've heard it's not good at all. And that's from Eli Roth Super Stands. Yeah, I like Eli Roth the person. I think he could use some work.
Yeah, I like Eli Roth. I don't let me rephrase that. I don't dislike or like Eli Roth. I don't think he hasn't done enough bad for me to be like, nah, I don't fuck with him. He hasn't done enough great things to where like I really like this guy. It's just kind of middle of the road to me. I did like Grindhouse, Hostel, good, Cabin Fever, and yes, of course, being the Bear Jew. He also co-produced the Baywatch movie, which I thought had its funny moments. So I'm okay with him.
Brian, any thoughts?
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Eli Roth's movies, but the ones I have seen, I actually do like. I love Death Proof. Is my favorite part of Grindhouse to me, and I love Death Proof. I like Inglourious Bastards. This one is probably my least favorite of the movies I've seen. Now, I haven't even seen Hostel. I never saw Green Inferno, and I have not even seen Cabin Fever. So
Watch Cabin Fever, buddy.
Well, I mean, hey, pick it. Well, maybe we can do it.
Well, I will in a couple months.
Well, but I'm a fan of what I've seen of his so far.
All right, next question we got is from good friend of the show, Shan. I don't know if you guys have saw on YouTube the alternate ending, but she asked, what do you think about the alternate ending where he escapes and shows up to take revenge on the girls? Is that version really a prequel to John Wick? And she put in parentheses, totally kidding on that second one, but you can see a similarity. I watched the alternate ending clip. I think it's stupid, honestly. This guy's been a loser all movie with these girls. I don't think he's escaping and getting his revenge at the end.
Yeah, I kind of answered this.
No disrespect to Keanu, but
I was gonna say I already answered that. I think it's not any better. It's not any worse per se, but it's definitely not better.
I didn't watch it. I did read that existed though today when I was doing some research. So I didn't watch it, so I can't really comment too much. But I don't like that. I'm glad they went with what they went with because, like I said, this is much more terrifying.
All right, last question we got is from Michelle. She says, I have never seen this movie, but I am curious about it. Brian said he loves Keanu Reeves. So what are your guys' favorite movies of his? Brian, do you want to go first?
Oh, geez. Well, I mean, I've always loved Bill and Ted. That was probably my favorite. I mean, I like The Matrix, but Bill and Ted's always had like this special place in my heart from when I was little. So it's got a lot of that. But probably my favorite one now is John Wick, the first one. Like, it's just, to me, that cranked Keanu Reeves up to another level for me. And I've always loved the dude, but I that's probably my favorite movie.
I'll let Dustin go last since his love affair. I love John Wick, all those. I think the first Matrix is really good. I'm not so much a fan of any of the sequels, not going to lie. I know that's a hot take, but I love that first one.
No, it's not a hot take. It's popular opinion, really.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that because I'm not in the Matrix universe there. I really like that first movie. I love Hardball. I think he's really good in Hardball as the freaking Little League baseball coach. What a freaking movie that gets me every time. Love him in that. And I think I like Bill and Ted. I haven't seen this most recent one, so I'm actually curious. Eventually I'll sit down and watch it, but I like those movies as well. Yeah, I'm a fan. He has a couple stinkers, sorry. And this kind of classifies as one of them, but his performance isn't the reason. So I will say that.
All right. So what's my favorite Keanu Reeves film? Well, how much time you got, feller? So obviously, the obvious ones stand out to everyone. The ones that you said, I actually do like the Matrix trilogy. Just like I think that the second one, third ones really sucked, but I like the complete story, so I'm okay with it. I'm gonna throw out some ones that don't get enough love, in my opinion. I love The Replacements, Shane Falco.
Yes.
Oh, I forgot. That is awesome. Yes, very much. One of my favorites for sure.
Great movie. Another one that's really underrated, in my opinion. I love this movie, Street Kings. It has a great cast. It's a gangster, dirty cop movie, and that's one of my absolute favorites. Also, gotta love Devil's Reject, or not Devil's Rejects. Hey, shout out to Rob Zombie. Devil's Advocate. Al Pacino, of course. 47 Ronin's great.
Please don't say what I think you're going to.
What?
Never mind.
Say it, brother. Say it, brother.
No, because that's a hot take, and I don't want to be shit on for it.
I gotta hear it now.
Speed fucking sucks. I said it.
What the fuck? No way.
All right. Here's a hot take.
God damn, that is
I don't
hot.
love Speed as much as a lot of people do.
Thank you, Dustin.
Now,
Thank you.
I'm not going to go as far as say it fucking sucks because I'll still watch it if it's on TV, but it's not one of my favorites. It's a good movie, though. Constantine's great.
Love Constantine. Love Point Break. Love them.
Point Break.
Point Break 2. Yep.
The Gift. I mean, listen, he's really done no wrong. He even made this movie enjoyable to me. So it is what it is. I love Keanu Reeves. Shout out to Keanu Reeves. And also, while we're on the shout out wave, Ana de Armas. Shout out to you.
Who?
Never heard of her.
Do y'all got any? Y'all want to do fun facts now? I don't have any.
I don't either.
Yeah, we kind of already said, the Eli Ross.
Couldn't find any really. Yeah, there wasn't that much, honestly.
And that this is a remake or a loose adaptation of an old movie from the 70s. That's pretty much all I had.
Yeah, same. Do you have the budget, or has anybody got budget? Or if not, I can look it up real quick.
I got one quick fun fact that I thought was hilarious to me.
Go ahead.
It's just that the Taiwan Chinese title of the film translates to "When Babes Come Knocking," and I think that is fucking hilarious.
That sounds like a Christmas movie.
I actually do have the budget. I was going to wait till. By the way, that does sound like a fucking Christmas movie. God damn it. I laughed way harder than that than I wanted to. Okay. So the budget was $2 million, which, okay, tight budget there, Eli. It only made 6.3 at the box office. However, if you're listening to this, it's probably because you've recently watched it on Netflix. It just dropped, I think, less than a week ago and was already the number one most viewed title on the streaming platform. So about to get a little new breath of life here in this movie, I believe. Didn't make a lot in its initial run, but I think it's going to have some fans because people love Keanu Reeves.
Fam, the number that I saw for the gross at the box office was just 36,000.
Oh, this one says 6.3 million US dollars.
Is that total sale like to date or?
Yeah, man.
Okay, yeah. I think this was.
Maybe it was opening weekend.
I think this is opening weekend, maybe, or
Oh,
maybe
that makes sense.
Maybe just before the Netflix deal, and maybe even just that, because I saw $36,336, and that is not a lot.
I do think that's opening weekend, and I know that I was going off of probably worldwide, so maybe that's why. But in U.S. dollars combined between the United States and everything else, it only made 6.3 mil, so it's still not a fucking lot.
Yeah, the IMDb numbers are confusing too because it says, like Dustin said, the gross was 36 and change, but it says right above it, opening weekend was $402,699 in France. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with these numbers.
I think I figured it out. The 36,000 was domestic. The number that Mike threw out there, I think it's worldwide. The reason it says box office is because this movie was a very limited release in the States, I believe, wasn't it?
Maybe so. I'm not sure, honestly.
So I think that's why it doesn't have the U.S. box office listed on IMDb, is because it was a very limited release. So I think that's the breakdown of the numbers. Like United States, 36,000. Worldwide was probably the 6 mil or whatever the number that Mike had. But
all right, let's jump into our favorite part of the review. Favorite kill, least favorite kill, and the rating brought to you by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and use our code DON'TGO for 20% off and free shipping. Does anybody in particular want to go first tonight?
I'll go ahead and get it out of the way because I guarantee I'm going to be the highest.
Yeah,
Okay.
You're going to be higher than me.
I'll go after you, Dustin.
All right, so least favorite kill and favorite kill. My least favorite kill is Lewis. My favorite kill is Evan's chances at a successful marriage. And as far as rating goes,
that was good.
As far as rating goes, listen, this movie does get the Keanu bump. It does get the Ana de Armas bump. I would like for her to get the Dustin bump. Anyway, I'm just going to go with a So what happened? I blacked out. I'm gonna go with a 5.5 on this movie. I don't think that it's a terrible piece of donkey shit like y'all do. I would watch this again, definitely. It just could have been done a lot better. It's a good premise. I think there's this a lot like Bones to me. There's a good movie there. Like you can make this.
Yeah.
You can make this like like Strangers. Just two fucking psychos showing up at a house and terrorizing this guy. But they didn't. They failed to capture that magic that movie had. But overall, it's not the worst thing I've seen.
I don't even remember what I gave Bones. I think it was like a 3 or something like that. I hope.
I got it pulled up right here, brother. You gave it a 3.8.
Okay, good. Glad, because this movie is much better than Bones, but it's not a whole lot better. I shouldn't have said much better. All right, so let me start here. My least
3.9.
There we go. My least favorite kill. Thank you. My least favorite kill is Lewis because he deserved a better death. And my favorite kill, or I guess my other least favorite kill, was my energy watching this fucking movie. Anyway, I gave a lot of my positives. I think Keanu's good. And like Dustin said, I think there is a good movie here somewhere, but they sure as fuck didn't make it. However, there are some good things. I like the shots in this movie, cinematography. I like the idea of this movie existing. I just think it was poorly executed at the end of the day, but gets a little bit of a Keanu bump. All that being said, I'm going just a flat 5, just a straight up 5 on this movie.
I love the fact that Dustin. I'll go next, Brian. I'll let you go last since your pick. I love the fact, Dustin and Mike, that y'all did a funny favorite kill and least favorite kill, because I wrote one out too, so I'm glad that y'all did one too. My favorite kill, I wrote Lewis by default. My least favorite kill was the hour and 40 minutes I'll never get back from my life it killed. The rating, I gave it a 3.25. The first 25 to 30 minutes I thought was actually decent to build up. After that, it was all downhill outside a couple funny scenes. I put in parentheses, free pizza. Keanu getting overpowered by these women over and over was super unbelievable. Lewis completely fumbled the bag by not untying him. And then the two girls I wrote just were incredibly annoying. But I thought the cinematography was good, and I thought Keanu was good. So that was basically all I liked about it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually said most of my positives during the thing. I mean, I said fucking great acting from Keanu Reeves for most of the film, if not all of it. At least half of the film I thought was really good acting by the girls, especially Lorenzo Izzo. I thought did great, especially in the game show scene. I want to say I'm glad that they didn't give the girls much of a quote unquote motivation. I mean, I know that they hinted a little bit at childhood abuse, but who the hell knows? Like, it's not like you can believe these girls anyway. So who knows if that was even true? So I want to give them a little bit of props for not trying to go too deep and give them some motivational, some kind of sort of crazy motivation that you get some like long speech of one of the girls telling him or something. So I want to give them props for that for sure. I will say that I feel like that based on our picks for the next 3 months that we kind of laid out today, I feel like my next 3 picks will be much better than this. But I actually gave this a 5.5 too, right there with Dustin, honestly.
Okay, so that puts our composite score at a 4.8125. Certainly not the worst movie we've done. I thought the way that the group chat's been going, I thought y'all were going to shit all over this movie, but Nico's the only one that really did that.
I'll be honest. This is still worth one watch. Never need to watch it again. I'm fine never seeing it again. But as far as seeing it once, I feel like you kind of have to see it now. If you don't need it, if you need any other reason, it's to hear Keanu Reeves say, "You both suck my fucking dick. You suck my dick."
Yeah, you definitely need to see that. But Dustin, what'd you say the average was again?
4.8125.
Guess what IMDb's is?
What's that?
4.9.
Wow.
Man, it's almost like we're good at this shit. Let's go.
Almost like IMD. Suck my fucking dick. You suck.
I'm a good father. I'm a good father. You
I want to say,
pizza.
You come here, you fuck me, huh? You take a fucking bath.
Dry your fucking clothes.
I want to say, I think that this movie won Mike. I think the review won Mike over a little bit more from his opening. It sounded like he was going to give this a 2 and a 2.5. I think us talking about it made him like it more. I want to say.
I like the humor that we did on this episode. But my rating was always a flat 5 because there is some stuff to enjoy here. But I never need to watch this movie again, and that'd be fine.
I'm really having fun doing this theme. And speaking of that, Mike, do you want to announce your pick?
Oh
next week?
yeah, only one other person here is going to have enjoyed this. But here we go.
Oh, shucky ducky.
All right, fellas and listeners, we are going back to the Firefly family.
God damn.
I'm not doing House of a Thousand Corpses because I've seen that, so that would not work here. However, I have never seen the third installment, 3 from Hell. I watched the kill count, which spoiled some stuff, but I don't really care about that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to actually see the entire movie of the last piece of the Firefly trilogy. I'm curious. It's also the last movie that Sid Haig was in. I don't know.
Yep.
So that's something that I think is kind of a cool little fact that we can have there. But yeah, a little more Sherry Moon Zombie for that ass. Let's go.
Damn
I
straight.
think it's a total lie. I think you've seen this movie, so you need to pick something else.
I've never seen this movie.
He's
Brian.
lying. This is the one movie that Mike hasn't seen out of every fucking movie that he could have not seen.
Hey, listen, mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. Did y'all ever think that someone not named Dustin would pick a Rob Zombie movie that didn't have Michael Myers in it? No. This is beautiful.
I don't know, Dustin, but I thought you were going somewhere else with that, and I'm glad you didn't.
You two are in cahoots on this, and I know it.
American History. I thought you were about to sing American History X. I was about to hang up.
Definitely not. Anyway.
Anywho, I'm not going to lie and say I'm looking forward to watching it, but I'm looking forward to reviewing it.
Oh, the reviews are always fun, brother, except for Hellraiser. Fuck that movie.
Wow. Damn, son.
I didn't
It
even have
wasn't
fun doing
bad.
that. I didn't even have fun doing that episode. I hate that movie so much.
Well, it's because I wasn't on it.
Even if you were on it, that movie. Anyway,
But you put some respect on Clive Barker. Anyway.
he's fine. I'm sure. Nice gentleman. I'm sure.
Well, this was a fun episode, guys.
Yeah, we were a little. Yeah, we got a little loosey goosey. But hey, man.
If we have any more fans, tune in next week, please.
We promise to cut down on the sexuality and the misogyny. We apologize.
No, we're not, because it's going to be a Rob Zombie movie. It's going to be worse next week.
That's true.
That's true. He
There's
does.
going to be way too much cussing, too gratuitous rape scenes for no reason.
He does objectify his own wife, so not my fault.
Hey, so did Eli Roth in this movie. What's
I
the
was going
difference?
to say so does Eli Roth. It's
Hey,
not
what's
even
the-
this movie. The Green Inferno. She's naked in that movie too. He's
Hey,
done,
what's
so.
the dish, Ishmael? What the fuck?
Hey, before everyone gets off of this, everyone go on YouTube and watch Keanu Reeves' little interview with Jimmy Kimmel talking about
really,
having sex with Eli Roth's wife. That's pretty damn funny.
it is.
But this was fun. Really appreciate all the support. If you're a fan and you listen to this show and laugh the whole time, we really appreciate you enjoying our humor, because that's all we're doing is having fun. So I hope you had fun listening, and we'll be back next week. We appreciate it. Just want to remind everybody,